Yeah, that's Mr. Joe Metal or more there no ye. Jotel 2020. Josel 2020. Joe Metal and Salasi. Say Josel 2020. Tia Gusua Muhanimon Mon Chile Amani.
No, call him Nagwedi.
They.
I'm bet one you will honeymoon.
Oh, I hope one obey more inspiration there about wait for his next. A best shock you.
Babu so son or yes,
I will prove it. Tia said you. Said in Yamiadom, yeah.
Asano.
Asa.
That's a Mr. Hangna. Asa.
Exercise cry so asade. No mind now asade say e be break. Your mind. It get plan
exercise.
We are the real.
Exercise.
Diamond.
Obi say the my.
Then me be say.
Kwa una gbe.
See, yes, some nyina kwa ba bi from Adom TV. Badwam dwumade no so. Ene e de bra mo ani nye nesiri bebre. Fi say na wo nkwa. Said the day kind of chassis and seconds no because it is out here say
Saeed.
Yeah. Oh, editor.
Saeed.
On then a Freddy here some.
Yama abusafo nyina Yaqub. Ye be chire ma chire wachi.
Ndian chassis on. Na da obokrata ye de chassis na anopai daily guide eno ne kura me e wa hai. Na wo hwe animu hanom a the so wahapano NDCMP fight over papano. Eno ehu asem parliament mo follow Adom TV news any multimedia news platform no de. Na just Friday now wo mo sorry na wakwaje wa home no. Information minister the papano kokowura mu wo ho. Ya no kra no tie mu anan kanya ne bone so no wo kire say John Jenapo eka asem to draw attention no say so who brought for no terms and that man no near then okay oh when me kro mu de that man papa no hey be hwe na me nim say papa no you obedience here etu be ni mo ha say you wura haru na adusu ya wo minority leader wono wani mo ha ne na nya easy ya be bo ni playback asam mo ahwe na mo amajaje ehunu de ekro nti wo mo nsam na wa ha delegate de abai ba me opens nungwa tama beach road ho adwuma ye wo ho no mampani abedi e chire pay 6 okoko no mu a wabie ama eba be free ase ene make aside the zoom lion yama wo mo pickups interior ministry yen kase ne de mamo ye de ama wo mo so wo mo nye emfa mo ban ho asem a se mema ma wo hunu wo mo okrom a covid ne ho ade ene bambo mu nsam so se no one more a day aba ensam foforo mu no Mahama brothers lawyers review in Airbus scandal copy 3 Saasam no so ewo ho era fe nu ayema mpani adodanko Akufo-Addo so ekasa wasikotoka airport reopen September ho ade ni nti free sabre koyi de wo mu ye de wo betumi bia hwehwe se September 1st ye betumi abie kotoka wiem hyengyina bia na daily guide the bokrata ne dia won so anopai o de baye no
Bedi daily graphic to us on no pay Ghana mampani adodanko Akufo-Addo edaha asem no ne se COVID-19 restrictions normal life in Insight airport hopefully opening September 1 adhere to social distancing rule president congratulate EC enti ne tofa bomno kowie se nra omampani ni Ghana fodi nkita ho no de edikan anhwa na September ebobosome no ne da edikan Ghana airport ebebia tum ama kwantufo atumi afa wiem atukwan na afa nso ogusua Ghana fo kran se obia nose mask no ye hye ne fa moye ho by COVID-19 ho na electoral commission adwuma nso a wo mo aye dinchronim no omampani ebo wona baso pa che se we no eye de eye educhem kra eno dan chen so amen sanifa so daily graphic house parliament approves 5 minerals royalty agreement enti say fam gudia yetu no memu ha no say no eho esika se wotua royalties no parliament ahye muke na ma say eba be ye adwuma na India for so che say wo manya vaccine bi na wam guso aye hwehwemu ne prensa so clinical test bi koso nti se wom hwe na se betimi akoatia COVID-19 year wom nche ma wom nuanom India fo nko a wom de bi so ebebre Ghana nti sasem no high commissioner a wo Ghana Mr. Sugande Rajam wono ena ne foni bata asemi ho say India makes rows into COVID-19 vaccine 3 clinical trials underway high commissioner to weigh a daily graphic there.
Yenhwe Chronicle da bokrata nanim na kojo ponkroma na bo anim hayi. Asem ni ne wose issues based debate thrown overboard. That is a debate ayedi na agronom ne ade no babies with sharp teeth on the loose. Pound Information Minister over harmless joke in Parliament. Na said the bokrata daily guide. Edi kande abaye na agro die jokes no ne ade kakra ade kofa ho ne say words bi o hono mu a enye yenka o Parliament se papa no ye no de fina kure wa ebete wo papa no ewo ano de asamato na yenko foforo mu wo Chronicle Chief Azoka and yes wo incite NDC youth against MPP for enti panini ne mfoni so ewa animo ha mampani dada John Dramani Mahama wono ne Frankatuni de ma NDC amanyoko no sese nyame ye na dompa na December 7th moto abano ma ne dia obehwe na contractors ya bande won mu nyina no but wo mu nyina so ebeba tema West Carlos Ahenkra still under fire we do so bi na aba se yenyi parliament yenyi free hon mo kra na zongo
so for no so aye ndai
anya yi adada ya korone ehun ayi na wunya Chronicle awum aye kabima me kabinti di obi e kire na dwo so de ne de ba na zongo development fund CEO no yese when breach procurement rules bia PPA and penifo no ankasa ne de aba yese hwehwemu bi ba kuo bi de betu just penino niema bi afafa ne nsem no ya we nanya di no nya corruption watch but womwa yeah
Adom FM no mkoye
yese de bi
so bekasa ba
yese bibia se ndemu nti Mr. Arafat Sulemana Abdallah acting CEO Zongo Development Fund Nifuni Bo Edimu ha Chronicle sembebre wom nyabre na so akenken.
The Ghanaian Observer so de ni na papa no ko no asem no so wa hanum se ya Ghanaian Observer de no ne hia no pa kese no penti minority leader Ora Haruna Idrisu na Ora Kwaja Ponkroma ne Samija mfi wo nyina bata papa no ko ho asem no ewo the Ghanaian Observer na enche hanosi year of roads on course as Viv Baumia cut sword for Accra Tema Beach Road project inti year of roads ne ho boshe no na penifugu so edisua mapenia be de achia kotwa homom chese Tema Beach Road no wo mo ba beye na asoye hwa ahonedie ni ensuo ho nsem nso na Zoom Lion for akọche won pickups ehye no miensa se won fa mo apro na won ma wani kwa ahonedie ehho ensem so wo memu ntie no so ho asem ewa hanom say the Ghanaian Observer enso kan ho asem no pay na say afenyo marking John Kuma score high marks in NPP top influential youth activist. Okay, the Ghanaian Observer enso no
Ghana phobia na no ano no mada so hu mapani kasa nom ne ade no
ekutia so enye ade papa ji wodi mako
so we dey people no review
me pokra de enye ho na ma adwi wo mane said you can put any new run up because seriously, my shadow will be a Ghana for over 30 million. Over 30 million, baby die. 89 years opportunity, yes, you'll be a fan washer yet to say, Cognas and Timoseno. It's me church. Junior high school from Koda, a buying set what they have told gender minister named Cynthia Mamle Morrison, sir, from 24th aircraft, was the 18th September, no day. Hot meal back, young from Munamuni. Se bibia nkosuni nane ya bambo ni bia mampani se wuti so bi kasa na ban ne mo fight covid no asafo ene omo nko dabi ene omo nko kra na omo no amanyoso mu ayi sa nti no wuti so bi kan wutwam na wasade to dwachire mu abra Ghana Health Service for kwamna omo de ato onim se nose mask no wo ka sa 40% na omo hye ne yie no ene nko sa de no nko mi tuchama wo hye ne yie ena won hye ne yie no wa hye nso hye ne ha omo so no yenyai ena obi wo ho so ena be 90% okura nose mask na wore he hye ne pocket ne pocket oh tese ye nti mampani say ye observe it ye but as ye shada nti ye ni san hye ni nyina so ye di ni nyina so a pono de ye kutia no pa because hwe ba bia na wo ani baby as say active cases na kono e ha hwe na mom say yesika papa pemu hwe figures say yesika de a ene nkankran ye kwakura ya titim na aba asante na aba central sa 3 regions yi de active cases no e wo soro ho nti ho de wo sere de ye na ama cases ne kosoro no mumie nte so ne nyai na okon no mampani no so wo ye ne famu de aka me no say yenso ye be ye de ne di sunkunim ye di sunkunim bibia bie say conferences ya makwan
yeah
and programs ye ne awards but ni nyina no
but also 2 hours so conferences no
oh say 2 hours
and when you born at take
because nanke ni ho enti ye nyina ye ni hihye no so eno na hia say baby ye do no eye me ne wa nkasa ye be kwa wedding ye be ye bibia but you observe it ase ya ne ye ye
ne fie ye ni jibro so a tempo ni piaro omo di bigum sa de no covid
say akwa de so ate aba form tino ye tino mampani kasa nde tofa mu no wenum ne sembia okeka ye bobo electoral commission for abaso no ni ade no ni nyina so ka ho so omo ayade na mmom condemn ye brutalities ana say ye can say kokko so ho ne de so nti posifo no muni mwadwuma de semra ni de bia ne wo mu ni ba bibia mu ne de for the first time say electoral commission updates up to date figures for register de bia no de ba ne de ho de omo ayade obo bia ba so nti akaye ye nyire ye ho ye pie free ye fie nko ne ye ba de a ye no smart ye nkura mfa so botom upie nko de ahye na wo sa kokoro ne edidi ye no yamfanya adwuma
okay so for Ghanaian times we na fie e ko from Mantima ne be ko achimante
e be ko from Mantima
okay so for Ghanaian times
etime de Ghanaian times say we no de fia bobo so ne nyina no so ene tofa bomo Ghanaian times say de ba ya wo de o mampani enfoni abata ho ne nyina ye nra nkita ho ne Ghana for edi ye wo ye fie mu no na o say house approved 174.7 million COVID-19 tax waiver from health workers. Enti eno so ye
sure because omo ya de papa.
No kre. Enti eno so ho asem eno no na ye se enipa bi a womote miaye bi e ho nheda nye slum areas bi e wo hyiahye adan be ye se ahansia 600 eja tom.
Oh,
enti safo no nyina ye te ha ye kasei. Wonda bremu aye bibi na ebi nso si wo eye takrade eno so shops ahodo for
nti wo ka na esi no hyiahye wo se dan be 600 enim die mo fa ncheme but yakasa dan ye de ahia because
anti slum
settlers no kios ni sa
slum area the net is sabi no
because 600 pass be dan ye cement no ne ade nko 600 dia
obekom container wom kiosk wom membudi be budie wom empempro die wom tabo dan wom
there
anti dey see sami aye na ya na illegal connections we nya homatenten na no dey awura ha mane no we dey awura ha mane omo no so we wo heater we bibia bi wom bibia bi wo sabia ye na omote
no bi so mosquito kwa na mo
candles sami ade
yes odi kumunto
na koye enua ne papan de
eshomu a etre
na omo so ya na mo frank to apa o omo atete sa no ya na mo nkwala nketenkete wo
botra ko obetimi ani
o say
say afọ botra wo mo kura.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, sorry, we. Ya me kai ho. Na fi afa kasia na.
Edani so.
No see about this mama me nyina ache me mo akwa Badwam TV kasia so. Ene ya Jordan samosie na braso samede bro Badwam TV kasia. Ya hwede di akotene wo mu bi na wo monfo wo Atta Akura emabunu ne titru wo mo kire bibi kakra Fulani for tete wo mpa mpanifo nhwe enye ho adwuma mfama wo mo eye APC fo so ani abreden sa fia bato no de kan ne kan DC ne MPP won parke efise wo mo bate sakakai wo betu wo nyina de afri ho ye bekodoma mpotamo na adoma hene ene ne wode ne nsamo tu dwa no abato ye kwotwetwe ye din no ho nsama asisi ye no wo sempanifo nhwentu ho na mo wona asotwe safata wo no yamfama wo no ne nsembi ena no pay mede bro Badwam TV Badwam kasia ko Facebook sesia meda ho like comment na fe wo share medi afia amankwa tamaklo yenya brena yentie sade nsam no enkyeremu ankasa etie empanifo ye de o betumi bia sebe ya wo manfo ye walking tampo north mensinemu wo bunu east mantam ne mu woni Fulani fo entemo na somje betumi afa ne ntoma pa de afra enso anei emabunu ye wo ho asa sori wondua so den ni nyina ne sei de mpanifo ka bi ani wono mu a Fulani fo bi etie enti so wodi won so atwentwe ye niema ense emfata emabunu no aye nsantwefo nhia mu de wonsam atodwadum TV kase edeba
Nyoma omune ye edino kromano ani enyan ene nyoma a ekokoso ebi ni rape ebi ni so omutwitwa yen sekan ebi ni so omudi omunantwe ekosaye mfudie omusaye mfudie no nso wi a ye de ko baabi a enko baabi a asam no se ye ko report ko police station a yasem ende o police station wa ye hu ani ne mom se asam no koto se kromani anase na twebi ko wu eda kromani na fom nkyɛn ebia ɛwɔ po bɛ 1 kilometer yɛtimi trezi afom na ɛbɛkye afom wura ɛde no kotum ba yɛ tese Fulani fo ɛtimi bɛyɛ ɛtutwa amanfo a yɛwɔ ho victims ba den no ɔmo mbɛyɛ ho hwee.
Adom TV Badwam Kasia na Ogusua o hwɛ no yɛde mo ɛbɔwura yɛnsɛm foforo mu na dɔmanhene ena nei nanade nano atomo ebie nano adai na yekotwetwe yendin a yehwe ni mo se no ne ebegina so na yede akwakoto abayi yemen akandifo ya ebebumen na emu no okọ banda ene nkran kwantanom ne ade a wonchi kokọ so ne emeka se yesi nipa mienu afrim na domanhene de atodwa kire mu bambofo onye ne ombetumi bia wona won ho bon sansem we mu no emra ene wondi
ewra baby ayeduru no to my mind Ghana is at the crossroad. Some really America surgery. On chariot. You go ahead. You go register. You move in and Kayaka say, I really cry abaninti. Kagana for to do on the Adoma. Manka registration on your door muscle. Aya, Ghana for the register. Nti yenina ya ko register. Na your registration no your register no ozize. Me da hono nsuro na say register poni na feda ya bato aba 7 December no so 2020 no se no be sia ye abato abato eniafo me no be dia bom MPs ne batarim
Then ya yanko amanfo ye wo community 6 say bronu bi e wo Akyem Oda wo Brem Central Mpensenpensenmu ewepoye mantam no mu wo mu di yaw ne ahwehwo wo mu efise ho de wo ba wo mu kwan enyenyenyenyenye panifo aba wo mu akọ ebi abanom ne ade de tie na tie we de wo mu sufre adodanko Akufo-Addo mampani ka kire wo mema no wo mu mra community 6 Akyem Oda mpotemu ho na wo mu kwan na atete apansam no enyema wo
Community kwan de nyame anim ne kure ne anya yenyina 92 ayadi MPP fo achi abepem nne enti se na naba oye ochi ni nko ade aye ni se waba ya diem enti se de onhwe no beboa yen oda aye one way oda aye one way ye wo kwan wa ha efi community sese aye kopie quarters enti aye one way enti amalol fe ne boarding
ekwan ne nye papa enti no esansan da afo ne fa yen instead of some metal of furniture no my anymore baby am fie wo ye musim kwan manante afri ha ko ho obedu kwa no abre meton ade wo kwan hu anadwo en futuru abo me se me jade ne ton metifie ba tan o menya dwuma because of futuru nti me ne den enti esena na cs pa ne chopa o da kom sis kwan de onhwe no my pa ne chow
pa o kom sis ya de enya sam ketu akra krona e kro bi a ebie but still no the way Rose no etie no enye ofa car edi ukọ na edi uba ehim je se enye opemfo kra fo car eye oble emayen
Yento akase no so nko mfimfini mantam na pani kwankyerefo da Coastal Development Authority ano Jerry Saeed Ahmed ene mfimfini mantam so afọ Kwame Duncan ene mi ka say the 1300 outboard motors ama afarefo ye wo mfimfini mantam emu ene ebebre wo hono mampanifo dwene se wo mo bekrade aba sebeya ebetumi aboa nananom afarefo na fa aboa no so tumi aba fom no bia enya bie.
They say we went to do a stakeholder engagement from Akyem to Kita. Not once, we did it about 3 times. And so we took the numbers. Now, Honorable Kwame Duncan was even looking for 2,000 generally. But here, stakeholder engagement, we realized that they needed more than 2,000. I went back to His Excellency to tell him that apparently numbers now it's even more than 2,000. We had 5,000. By God's grace, went through the procurement process and we awarded for the 5,000 to be procured.
Yamra and Crabium na yentie na cluster schools ahodo bi e wo adabraka woma ye krado papa ye junior high school for no se covid no covid woma ye krado ba be ye won so hwe nemum wo ha kakra wo mu de fisa adwene na adabre na fe asa sode gidigidi ye adwuma no eno ne womo ha kakra ne so bibie mu no woma ye krado Liberty Avenue na fe adabraka ni amogi cluster of schools one more Asian dear papa na when you know beto dra na ye Ghana Cooperative Credit Unions Association and a PPs a would want their school no more nam so kwadai din semi etudra
normal na the yan to be seen the near party the non ye a bomb kakra emboyim kronanam bomb mbam PP sim advance also knows mass kama mu na mu adhere to say the SPP ya need to know government you know the do measures not here non ye this then will be the non ye
hard because we've missed some of the topics, so what you are doing now, we are just answering some past questions to cover the one that you've not learned.
Ya de kasia ni wie kura na ya ne yakasa afe encheba na wedie emese na watche na encheba fi se yankasa ye news editor wono ewo live ni hira FM wo Kumase na enura anopa yenka bi enhemu yenkote a yese yankasa yen Alhaji Ali Yaqub ene watoa nananom ewo siedo eboye nyina yepusa yenkote pani no sam kakra yenim efa no.
With KMA on city facelift project, and we also focus on commercialized powder sugar producer as the world celebrates World Hot and Spicy Food Day, and also fought to boost investment in electric vehicles to the tune of $11 billion in 5 years. Now let's look at the stories in detail. Now, the National Investment Bank is partnering the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly on a city facelift initiative. The bank is financing rehabilitation and landscaping of road median in the metropolis as part of a beautification program. The Assembly has already approved design by Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology at a cost of 66,950 Ghana cedis. The project will begin from Odium to Asaf Market on the Jusu Kumasi stretch of the main Kumasi Accra Road. City Mayor Osei BMP says such collaboration with corporate community will develop the city.
Beginning of my tenure of office to the Vice Chancellor, and in fact I came and had a meeting with him, and the meeting was so brief, but what actually came out was very, very vital and important to develop the city. And truly we are having a lot of partnerships. They've been helping us, one in the area of youth and sports development.
Nti penny editor Alhaji Ali Yaqub and Saeed Ali Yaqub and yete say already news no editor osa kan just no ye self-contained Yankopon emfa kra ensie no chekere busua ene adofo nyina so ewre yebegyine no so na no pe bedwam kase na ha enam de besie bidi afia amankwa tamaklomeko na Professor Yaqub Wallace de agude mu nsema Sister Sandy be your guy so de ahosepe ebebe neno ahosepe no ehia so otie fi say abayo ko de say your ball mother come again Miss V or Balive and Khaled she and ye Afisem so beba na Mpensenpensenmu yenso yasa de ato aso tena se kwesi se no nkono ebebo.
Now, if you tom Ghana and come media channels, my say I still Adom TV, so Adom TV, so when you media send out can see some empire second and open switch out. Within the Enoch, Kwesi, Walanyo, Wallace, I could catch back up and I'm Jim train. Near the Sanchez Shelson, Queen 18 bro. Yen two and a more fair ni enter Ghana Mampenia Akachidia, there's the president of the Ghana, Udwani Echman and Akufo-Addo, and then Ra Oshe, Namania or the Ebijaya, and come off when him say, send an MSC Kono, lockdown or achieve football check in Kibibio Pono at their mom. Now so it's him.
March bosumi etwa mu no na aban de tabo to agodie bi aso o mai Ghana mu ha ehum se agodie bi wo ho a ya ma mo kwan se o mo nhya sensesi o mo de nanso ne kase pa no aban ne ma kwan se yenyi agoprama so enni agro na de di mu akotene ene bo akan a yesi ne krom ha ne titire ene Ghana Premier League ne Man League no GF mpenifo de nyama gu akwan mu a mo hwe ne mu se nkanye bia ye mo kwan na players ahodo nhya sensesi o mo ho emfa ntwe season foforo a yebesi mu no nanso ne ya meka sei o mampanyin ne begina simpie so kasa na watwe awie ya wo kire mu se niema hodo bebre na wo de sono to so no wayi afri so nanso Bob akensie nko ade wo hwe ne mu se GF kuo yi be yasutie na mo de akoma pa atwen wom na niema nyina akoso totia ya ma Bob akensie ho kwan ma na koso o mai Ghana mu ha.
Our phased approach towards returning our lives to normal through the strategic, controlled, progressive and safe easing of restrictions will thus continue. Beaches, pubs, cinemas and nightclubs are still to remain closed until further notice. The limit on the number of persons who can attend conferences, workshops and award events has now been lifted, subject to the maintenance of social distancing amongst participants, fresh air ventilation of the premises, and a 2-hour limit for each session. Ms. Ramo, in Shishaya Yaye, Efa Masno, Mundiso. So free fear, Shamasno. And no na baboy ya hobai, ama yotumia pam yare, if you yamam.
Ti Ghana mampanyin na Addo Akufo-Addo na tene ka so de nkomo eja e de afa COVID-19 measures as it means that so still football eguso lockdown amenya doma ye de nkono ebetua san to so e de abro ba fellow Ghanaians okay kan ni chirima national under 20 female team from said the Black Princess of Ghana no na nka so so de am sisi team time so se be a African air football akinsi ba kwa edom anim no nyama ebetua koyi e de amom omo qualifiers na nka September busumi na no omo ehwe nim se kwambia so betumi de akotin time so na so call Confederation of African Football the TFN say CAF akacha omo HS besisabri omo enya huomanim e wo sa kansi nim ye CAF mpanimfo na bɔ nkrata tintintin de akogya manhodo no sɛ ana 20 Women's World Cup ade ho yi mu akansi a wo senkepa so no omo tu ahyeda omo kyerɛ mu esan tabo ya manhodo yi bi de atoto akwantuo so nti ɛno ma ho kwan ne players ahodo mu di agro de ma omo man no entumi nkyina hwem hyɛn mu enkodi sa agro yi ɛno nam so nti ɛna wo de tabo ato so omo hwɛ ne mu sɛ niema mu da hɔ a yebɛsɛn yi sa tabo yi na sa akansi kɛse aba so ne fie da atwa mu yi na yema ya omo ni mu mfinhye aduo no kyerɛ Black Princesses no omo de omo ni kyerɛ Cape Coast a omo ahyase e bɔ omo modwa nsɛm se betu dwa no mpelifo ahyase omo kan mu trabo mu ahwɛ ne mu sɛ omo modwa amakɔbɔ Cape Coast e de ahosesie kɔ wintam so no omo toa so anaasɛ omo de bawie na sɛ CAF kasa wie a omo atoa so. The Black Princesses of Ghana national under 20 female team no ana womo so ahosisi in air cancer mu no isan se CAF paying for so twentwen so e was na shani se cost but my no ebo market team de dade obani a kire camp mo afia ahosisi ase e hwe nim se nyame adoma September se bibia timi tum tudo a nkom kwakobo mo qualifiers na so nei womo eguso e watwen mu ye ko Ghana Football Association fo akachi ho a womo kasama fo penya de din Henry Asante Twum enkan GBC commentator and nei ono so den komo ba kwa ba na nasimo kan nan se tenka director of the Ghana Football Association no na no ada Samuel Francis Utia Kentempenfo ja na kwan isan se ne contract on Ghana Football no na aba na wie na ntufu no apigafo na wontimpenfo hwanim se nka papa ekoi obenya obi abesha nan na se ntebi nya ne tie se omo de interviews etwen sa tentam so a abrofo ba ese mensa ana mudi mu akotene na Henry Asante Twum eyi asotri e wa Goro ne fam na no memeda na opa dwumedi edi no Adom TV so no ana o kire se enchi bia tenka director foforo ebeba Ghana Football Association.
Omo ye shortlist first of all. Omo ye interviews. Esco be meeting to discuss. And after Monday, I'm sure there will be a proper position of the executive council.
I know Chris or expatriate.
I don't know. Obianka maybe.
As of now,
I don't know. Some member of Esco.
I know. But we are the spokesperson, so virtually be a and from maybe a bo.
Kwako interview ni pensia. Ni pensia no emu mensa e Ghana for. And emu mensa e abo for. Injene e wo say ye de hye yetrim say sebi imperial sa ye krom Ghana for na ye interview om no ye nkwasiafo. Because chenchene achia esco ne decide so okofa bruni what I say na nke ye abrofo miensa pe ne interview omo a na wo take his stance na me no be ya adwen agana fo miensa e ka interview no a ye no e na abrofo miensa and at the end of the day committee na ye interview and interview panel no e be present your report e de ama esco no in general no mo e discuss
ti de tete say mo kofa bruni na enya no kre
me nka say enya no kre because ye interview abrofo so there is a possibility but I'm saying, at this moment no ubisa me say how nye fair I will communicate the position of the FA when the decision is taken. Ubisa me say eboni ayenwa that's them na wo ka che
no say me bisa eboni say so sa me brief you I am told
it is not about me being briefed it's about a decision that has not been taken.
Okay, so per my investigations meaning say
it
doesn't still matter, you know the job you do. What I say per my checks me investigation, so I'm told say eboni neba ebe
me ni position men bisa me say be no
na the position
I don't have an opinion. I only communicate the position of the FA, not my personal opinion. Who bisa me say be no I open me personal opinion who for say FA who for say FA
okay you be ni so be no
I don't have an opinion.
Iti Henry Asante Chum kasama for penny Edema Ghana Football Association atene kan se oni kwaku bin maestro wo mo de tentam so anya asem keto akra me meda no pa bia ana agro no fam dwumedi kese etimi etofam na me adoma ebedi achi ahwese na nema ebisi akọ but sha no soma me se boafo heba madama om de no miensa ana badwa man so boafo cream is we ni patuntum ana se kokọ onya bi stars etimi bo ma wede etimi to so kama ya boafo ointment no so waposo dwonku sisin na etetewa o setimi kan ointment bia no so stars ebetia bo ma nema etia to ye de ma pompo na ehuhuru se eye nkofie ana ahwese na mesi course na etetewa o setimi kan boafo ointment bia fa bi stars so pipe pompo se to na bo ma nema etimi koye de ma ya boafo ko bites misraw eye offices ahodo a ohwese na mesi kwa mpemfo eguso etonkonya afi bia o replace nkonya koko na ache boys eni ti de bi omo transia omo de omo fatum na emo to find the trankonya no so omodin ada se o sabetini aka eye boafo ko bites eno ne edu ba kwa eno so tu koko ase pa bu ane koko ne tentene mantia faja to pe omodin ada o setimi kan bi betini aboa obetia friend was 0244 726 367 0244 726 367 now on a boafo heba phone paying for entry komo. I've always told you that betting is better than sakawa de odo ma me be rituals edu ba bia wan kasa waso hwene ina de kwa rituals nemu betting de utwa ne befu a ana udi ne befu nti waja pade bo ba bia obetia koton de na be guso na watwa ne befu na wadi ne befu nemu no mmara ba kwa betting ne say don't be greedy eya utwa fadwene kakra to isan say wan hwa bet di wa eya brutal obetia faso kra eyesie bomode da so sabetia kan 1x bet se utwa beta eno ene betting ba kwa betia boa ema niama atoyi ediama wemu ene sponsors ne totoro to ne twitwiri twa bom de omsika dwetiri ewo mati komen na no pai man na yie na afi me so ebegina ha ede nkomo no so etin se jamu hye ne so ma me se hard working se dwuma no twu na dama one tintin se mi gu nkrata so bejame senior most osmosis on the mic me se kama ma wie de wo be kampadu ene crew no so na se kese enkomo opresimu na e wo no ma om eboa e ma niam etia kwe make down for enso ha me sure say after so make me up no on be san make me down am bia etia san to ye but I didn't ma no nyo kese mfe bi ni da so ni no fa nko ba bia ni da so wo hwe sa adwumadi dia na nam awoshi bubu ashi kanation agbubulu shi feda baka kopimbo meka dan so ma da akoma Akufo-Addo sun san kede bodu asman kese bi man ponten fadi kitekrache kopiem so do wini baka so anyanya no kwatin puko so jaman akoso mu ene ne hye so ga ko peda bala hoho ibu akitim akopiem chito adedome edwani kire mu kokko obome obo nkwatia edwani kire mu akopiem mu hwo mu krom sankore ekọ na do mahene atrae ewo doma edwani time san kire mu akoko divoa ya musu kroma obi ada fide na to a ohwe Adom TV Adom TV ani ede san share so kwen etimi jawo ese akwala sa ese fe a ebisa na wofo din ma medin ede mama pep papa din de bradan madama ene na no penso ede a o kensi hu sempan saka etimi jawo. The act of being a good guest is to know to say goodbye.
Sorry ba petre be kan na ofi no
Mara bete eya me bed in class here.
It is akosi se woni na nyema na oni na wo.
Oni ni wo ba te ya me ya.
Empena che wo, o mbo so twempena ho.
Ba tira.
Na ne sen ka wo ku so fo mpa ne ho asem nka sister ikura na jeje no a. E ka oye ba ku nko dumo odudie nko twa so ne se wo ku penti no mo so.
So me she dan because ono me ku no ye mbre.
Oye mbre. hwɛ ɔyɛ mmerɛnti na wɔn nso nyame de wa ma no nti wɔn nso yɛ den ma no why wate ase ɛda ase Felicia nti sɔfo a wɔyere ne Felicia wɔso woyɛ mmerɛnti wɔsoro wɔnyi ne bia na sister na ɛden kenya wo ho na gyina hɔ na aso sɛ sɔfo na yɛ den ne gyaeyo nyɛ sa ɔdin ba bɔnte ɛbɛtena ha yɛ aka wate ase hello sewa
yes
sewa mpacho morning net saying sewa na so aswa butun ye sofo aye obi ana na akoye sofo bi na aka akọ
sofo bi na ye
wo ye wo de na siye
o na me fra no na no ye ne fe se me koye no status of the self family na me so sofo chai
you na sofo enyai na se wa wo de me hu ne se wo ni case because sofo edi kan catch us ne ho ye ne fe na sofo wa yere na sofo se wa se uti we kura wo nsasa because what to say sabio asofo binum yoyo sa nti wo de wo kura na akọjeje sofo because sofo edi kan catch us say se wa koto bracketo ho ye me fe brafie be sra me na ne wa kọ na sofo de ne nsa fa ho no aya se ne wo bo sofo so bo wa ha enye yi wo na akọjeje
sofo nti no ma njensa
enti mo yo ba ko no mugusu ana magyae
oh ye gusu for some time ye jai
enti unya mfie be yesen wo de sofo yes ade no
na me 21
ena mo ye ya kosi wanya ahe
me 27
o say wa o say
me 27
enti wo du ahe na mo gyae ya na mugusu nkakra akra
yo ye jai enche
afiye won
pacha
de okay kra me nyuni me didi sam gusu ye na bia mo ntanya ntentem te se de mo sha 7 good years wonim se sofo wo yire sofo se wo ho ye ne fe oh se wa wo ya ma we de wo na wo ya agije sofo se wa ye wo de ye mfesi hansa na munjai yo enim guase ne ba wo be ye hintidia why se wa Medase. Hello, what's over to me a Frezero? Boahe, Cransuaha. Hello, Boahe. Hello, Boahe. Hello, Boahe, Pacho Martin.
Hello.
Boahe, Mr. and Tiemi, in fact, even so, Tiemi was some way. Yo, Yenin come, Boahe, who would the any way be? Oh, Boahe to me, Anka. Ye be koso afa afrefo no na ye nhwe ne sei so eto de bi nso obi wo anya sei bia sofo no wone ne bedada bi na mumu no wode ensem bi ne afutuo hye na adwene mu sei obusuafo kora ye beifo me na metumi ahwewo me na metumi aboa nti mo se no onka ne ho kora nko abusua obi nso wo ha na adane na kwadworo because ahomache kosia najo wote aso dem mu fire nyame saa bompae saa nti wonye adwuma na waye kwadwofo afi sofo jeni mu na ehia na obebo sofo din bone ni nyina keka ho bi boahe okay enya boahe hello
osono papa bi
yeja
mpacha omidia ne big Bernard Amonia midi hu hia me air condition specialist kumase
Amonia wodi hu hia mpacha ye ni nkoma na Amonia wodi ne ne ewan bia
mpacha se
mpacha wodi ne ne ewan bi
mommy dia me pesa me catch asofo no se asofo binum no ho saa niema ni nyina no enkanyam so mpa ho on se eye bone ezo mo yi ho na firi mu se de obo adwama ya wonye ehwe nti saa asofo no mo ye saa niema no eyade a ekoso nti e fe kire mo esi wo ne ye catch rom so omu gu asofo ebinum asofo papa no omu gu binum ani mu afe
okay
so nti asama ade abayi no ezi etimi kafa kire om omo twe omo free saa ne ye no na nsem fata na ye bone kese pa ye mfa ni sofo
Amwani a odi hu hia meda se na em se jama bone de menyi ni se sofo bi ejina ne puppet so aka se enye bone da wo eno de omo ka ende wo ye wo ne mpra krati aso dem so ka se ejama boye bone ana mboa aha eti ye mrafie ha na ye guso a ye di nkomo na kwanya no be wo ho ama o se obefre why na ye ne wo edisa nkomo na hu hia ye senti a yakofa sa nkomo ye ba no fresh one bi a abeto apaso na saa nipa no ye mu ni din ansa fi say yama na kwanya say won clear ne ho ye nyante ne nka ebi ana oda ye kra won sore ye kosi say ye bete ne nka no ye mu ni din ne mu ye te ne nka wie dia ne abo ne din na oye boafo nipa pi nim no wi asenso nim no say oye boafo na so say free lunch bi ani ho no e kamia ye say yampa na so age so odanya ne no obian a ene e be hu say free lunch ne ho somebody why don't come patch on mache
ye ne
na pomwe
nyame adom so
fie fo nyina ho ye
nyame adom
na wo sister bi anjeje wo da
o ma jeje me da
da wo ne ba ko bi anya yi da
o me ne ba ko ye bi
sa o ne wo no kra ye enya confidence ka say me so le be ba mu say
I want to be real on this thing. Let's be real so that we can address some issues. Okay. Yedi ka ye chia busia ene ye tie for na number 1 there is no problem with God.
Okay.
And God has no problem.
Okay.
Nemum problem now has to do with the people he has called. Kabeka ni oma me nse bia to aso.
Matiasie.
Onyame oni problem. In fact, onye problem and all my problem. Oye nyame. Na problem e won say onyame onye mistake no wafra obi. Enti onyame to be fru bi asebe abo akora onyame fa ne so ye de obeso de ye.
Okay.
Ti na na no Yesu ka kire suafo ne say so omo se munye dia mema abosia. Ayi so it means me I can use anything to fulfill my purpose. Nemu ye ya wafra ye no enipa no ye say wafra ye no we have problems.
Okay.
Number 1, the problem we have is that wafra ye but ade wo sa woti ase ni say onyame frɛ wa onyi wo mmerɛ yo. Onyame wo frɛ wa onku mmerɛ yo.
So we nipa no mmerɛ no.
Thank you. Say what we say ye beka de say bia na wonim Yesu a na wote bia bi ensanom ema pɛ adada apobo etro bia nioma bi wo ho. Wo frɛ wa na wo fa de say wo kra no waje nkwa na wo betra mu a ansa na be suffer the process you have to go through before you become a pastor. Number 1, every pastor must be a born again Christian before you become a pastor. And there are some pastors who are not born again Christians.
And so we are pastors.
Yes.
No be anya born again or then a pastor.
Highly possible. I have seen people or sakra ya nchero abe suffer ade ya onyame afre no. It one go through the stages of maturity, born again Christian, whatever, for him or her to grow.
Because only makenkai.
Edukra we university na no ate. Je was sacrifice for now frafra within a year. Nyame afre no. But yembre so no Sunday school kwa beko. E was Assemblies of God no. Enya de ketua. Obeka scriptures be 20. And Sunday you free kwala class to adult. Eji ubewura mpanifo mu no na uti da ho. You understand scriptures?
I like the word. Now uti da ho.
So there are things you cannot do in Assemblies of God. I'm a product of Assemblies. Okay, me babechi.
Yo.
Eto onyame fra wa fra ye no. Ye nipa no. Ye mre yo no. Ufo nyame betra mu a. Nyame suro ntinka. Nyame suro ntinka. Wa betra mu no. Ubesuro nyame. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. So nyame betra mi mu no. Nyame tra wa betra mi mu to ma mi nyansa. Nyansa ne eboa me ma me dwane free bone ho. Tina David said, thy word have I hidden in my heart, that I will not sin against. Jo nyame wa ye na asem wa betra mu a eboa ma wo ya.
Okay.
O shaw so.
Okay.
O ya hwe yi. Say me nyesa. Okay. Yen free born again emra sofo. Eti me ya born again be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. They say ma be ya sofo. Twade e. Me be ya sofo a. Emra be ye Kristo ni mu nyina. I have to go through series of temptations. Eti me be ye Kristo ni afi ba ko afi mienu miensa no. Temptations am be fe no. Na me pe ma, me sakra, me ma pe nkoye. Enu tinya bi betra mi mu a, I need to work out my salvation with fear and trembling. Me de ahonpopo ene ahonkeka wo nyame mu osuro ena suru nyame. Eti me nkwanje wo adwuma me ye ne se, mere yo ananka kane me yo no. Se me be ye ho adwuma se, onyame a wo betra mi mu te mere yo me ma wo kwan, e ma wo ndimi so. Kane ni atisum mu, se yaba han mu. Ti se maba han mu no, me prima esu dada oye esum. Embedi kane ane so. Eti it becomes a battle between the flesh and the spirit. Eti nyamesum eyentokwa it is a battleground. Eyentokwa ayako say me ntobo ni mu biem. Boni so sebra metwe. Eti darkness and light. Na hwade se ntokwa pre no unyami sumu oba presa eto the bim pa utumi patreshe but you don't what patre enchire say them
okay
and then you rise up no wasan Kenya will say no me prima boni we enchire so what must say now all corner say ofre bemu a ye ba sofudie so
okay
ofre bem now obeya sofu na number 1 onyame frɛ wo na abeya sofu na you need to understand that the expectation now is very high. The higher end say, come up by Sophie. Number 1, obey Sophia, call in number, but you need to go to Bible school. For example, if you want to become a medical doctor, you can't just get up. You need to go to medical school. Number 1, problem I hear so for the when they say, number 1, we don't go to Bible school at all. I hear you say, and the young for the woman call Bible school, yes, you can call Bible school. It's Bible school who here. For example, we call Bible school 3 years. Okay. Bible school back over 3 years. We now arguing are reforming. Arguing is soon. Okay. You understand why you are being called by God. You influence what? Maybe you suffer the expectation here and they say, I am a leader now. It will be to because I don't suffer on Yenipa. Or you suffer Munja. Munja is who am working and suffer on Yenipa. The problem is this. Me Yenipa dear. Now so I was 70 years. Yes, you have framinti. 1, I have become a leader. Okay. Now, once you are a leader, it means that people expect your life to be quite different from the people you are leading.
And not just a leader. Who do you Bible bata?
Thank you. Bible and bata when they say, "Nanka mi usuru nyame." The eka sofu yobi usuru nyame. O yobi a wobu nyame. Na usuru nyame bu nyame nti o hwe nipa yi. E hono ena esa of training nti people trust you so much that they lose their sense of thinking. In other words, what you di ama chese ono no obenwa. Or you said daddy or the Bible now. Okay. Daddy or the Bible so daddy usoro nyame or show preaching or show nyum to or show send agaka was daddy dear no. It is sabi or your ba no or benwa o jeja ne homa. And ye jeja so no that or jolly no just say o hu na o
wo bi ma o de ahobrase ba
or the hope the faith bibia nti ono sabi na adwene emma so say daddy bet to me mother. The whole nipa nyamia friend ni suni ni by PSA otumi share ne ho so and I wan share ne ho so. Na ahoshe so it's not just a gift, it's a fruit.
But you say
self-discipline or self-control it's not the gift, it's a fruit. The gift of healing is a gift.
Okay.
The gift of prophecy is a gift. The gift of working of miracles is a gift. The gift of faith is a gift. The gift of self-control is not the gift. Self-control is a fruit. Now, fruit does not appear a day. I can buy you a car, it's a gift. It's for you. It's a gift. And the fact that you are gifted by God does not mean you are bearing fruit. God can use anybody. And we are man of God, you don't boast in gifts. And I was here for no, I go to 2 Amboni or Mobano. Yeah. You do the choir, no. You can in the name of Jesus. No, you guys need to make sure your names are written in the book of life. Naturally, it is connected to the fruit of the spirit: love, joy, peace, gentleness, meekness, self-control, patience. Some fruits, you know, problem you would need. Yeah, so for no. Fruits. What we say, yes, most members. You celebrate us in gifts. Ti oba, and madam show when you be many. I am panso. Your Frau Ama, I say, my God, this man is anointed by God. We celebrate gifts, but we must understand that gifts are operated on earth. Gifts does not work and function in heaven. As I see soon in Yamiama, I saw for Wama Adoma Chedi. I had the ma. Adoma Chedi and social idea. Sabi miss of me, Jimia, Onyame on G. The gift of God has no repent. In other words, me ya boni kra on J. The reason is that Adoma Chedi and Yamian Farmer Sofono. So only do or the man send you by 1 hour ben. 1 hour suffering can benefit from the gift. Whether you take care of the gift or not, God will not talk. But if you don't bear fruit through your character, fruit has to do with the character of Jesus.
Okay.
It's a gift our honor fruits.
Entina Solomon yan a gift say nyansafo no.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The fruits I am buying amwa.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Obeti said David. The gift enyum to. Nyame di na be si ahingi gwanu so. But the problem eye emape. The fruit of self-control etumi amba.
Okay.
So you check through the Bible, you realize that Obeti said Samson. God gave him gift and modern power. ABC that we are saying. Or okunipo over thousands or the abua jar. Abo binu ewu. Yeah, they change to this. Imagine handcuff. What it is. So this is a unique person. Gifts. But fruit problem, no self-control. Okay. So Delilah had to deceive him. So the problem with our pastors today and the problem with us today is that we have gifts.
Okay.
We are gifted. Young guy or the non contraction or Shankoma Tibet gift. And so we praise them in gift. And even the pastors, we boast ourselves in gifts. But your fruit, you buy your knee and that is why people and the world is criticizing us.
Okay, and we are so criticizing as for Catabone na a woman consider because Sebase ye born with Dimbone so I na and come mom, ya na a comma as of phobinum. And so a denya wouldn't so phobia who say, way dear where you suffer pa, but a band as I case as of fonty, nay be a quack for a woman. Yanko ye chica crowd come back could be say, Senyame de Adumata de Domwa or new mreyo.
Debbie,
Union was of a woman. Another fact so yes of one. Or who say my bay so for Nidia, Memre Yonina, yes, you are fast so I was saying.
I have seen preachers preach like, yes, you be woman, Ebajeo, Omreyo, your born a man, Kachi, ne man tampia, your bow man, Bona your bono, ne mreyo, or you mre, you know, or no, you I don't know how to put it. He took your weakness away. Thank you. But you see, you need to understand that. God did not just help you to come out of your weakness. You need to work out your own salvation. Okay. I have to work on myself depending on the grace of God. And you think Paul said, "Adumniti, young kosunya boniana." Obeso say, "Adumni buau." Grace does not function in heaven. Grace works on it. Okay. Adume boy waha. Eti untimi ka say grace ntimi ko heaven. Grace does not take anybody to heaven. Eti yes wo obewu no obema wa dom say umre yomo no. Who apply or anase if you depend on grace. Grace be boa ama umre yo no waseso. Okay.
Eti ye fa ne say sister yi wa sorry mu. Ode nani atofo mu ahu say sofo ye ne madoso. So nti aya na sofo ba we de mecheche school fees amanka kankakra. Aya ba je komanda sofo ma me so san say onya bibi fi ho nti. Ode na ye ne nua ba prekope. Oba sofo ho kra na e ka ono one no nko timi jani ku sofo no ma ne obasa because onim say sister e de wo kwa wode bibi beto ho. Aya na aya san say adom no nya me de dom wa onyu mra yo nti. Na no so akofa saba. Enti to de bia yenso yado ya ye asofo ne ade no sani asofo manso ka ho
Udika busa the question say my bida na because say my bida my bida. Now the truth is this, there are people who come to the church are almost your members woba woboa me best make say nyame nam the so boa. I don't want to use that word. You find nyame din dia grossa or boa obi awura sorry ma obi an perception and how they see things. Eti aye bi ameboa. So for young lady atoka achew. So for young lady onenamo ho wa wade ananware. Okay, but onware kra dia we are more dangerous than obi awawade. Okay, the awawade suru etwetwe ne ho. The onwade ye no they don't think after say me worry. Okay, so let's go. Waba sorry 1,000 Ghana ye kota asase.
Madam
no be nene here. 2,000 madam. So I saw now way and madam bakope. Okay. So like she's been so supportive. And gentleman could be an aso for fiancé and or ba or be wade no. But sister ba send your boy the fiancé your mwasa. Okay. Sister ini bi. On the empire ya kaye nye kaye so ye dey sorry. Ya the way and they are sorry. Eti osofu young guy on one day ye. Ehwe sister ya class oyiye. That to talk one day ye. E kwan be nen na ho say. And you be jai fiancé say nyame say. Okay. Now okra onye the right person. Now many sister in fiancé because I wouldn't want to lose her. Obwa. Now problem we sister and so share of no on one day ya adwene ba de trim say so sofo wade no ye single dia me so kwan be ne na ho say
me so me ne be yes sir
eti ebi asofo su ko mu one ne da 1 2 3 4 ebi ye 2 years 4 years 5 years 7 years as long as the person the pastor is not ready to come out from the flesh the body at there. So what it's your time.
Okay.
And because you anybody at time you will be done. I'm telling you this. Okay. So for ya they do baby office okay. Oh skabani subanye. Let me go and take back my fiancé. My fiancé is really scared. So the problem is that some of the people that comes to sponsor and to support the ministry also a problem. For example, you have a daughter who is so good to you, and you are so good as a father. Woman is scattered, ocean is school, whatever it is. One said, Ocean and do baby or yemre, she becomes soft for you because Ocean chilling and you may be daddy. Daddy Jan Sha. So when daddy confront, sometimes they don't even confront. Okay. To the find confront. Bepel. It's like beginning. Now give him ye. But me catch daddy say me nya. Why the best me? Another this me catch say whatever support you are giving to a daughter, you must understand that only in that there is no blessing. Well, Lucy. Okay. O blessing and fornication no sex now here. And also market you have. Of course, God will surely and you free sir. Entinanki ya say, "Oh yeah papa yeah," so that Osoro can bless you. But a man of God who does good to people, especially the church members, and our woman bibiba, my ministry people and the back that the whole because that is there. He's been a blessing. And sometimes, say, only need that or befia, they don't even tell anybody. Not even the mommy. Oban wakana no atum. Mommy see us I tell you again say my brother cause me say call na that the hand help why. So people become weak and then vulnerable to pastors because of the help. And I'm telling you, pastors are doing so well. Most pastors I would say any poor shower mono. Sister, enough from sir. And so for me, members need be so assured thing. I have seen even an elder or a deacon, elder, Mami Penny, 40, 45, dating a young pastor. Simply because also for the super mammy and moi. Mammy, the crowd they take advances, send obey no obeba at saying, and I send obey one and suffocate to any mamida. Suffocate to us to go to my head there because Kaya Tamano, one pesky a budget. Church instruments to toy ya. Timami net or the abbey de manico. So they on any that they are or keeping around. Ujana obeko okonsua
asori igu
thank you so be a members be a software but maybe they say yeah software we have a lot of responsibilities a lot is expected of us say yeah leaders and yeah mentor yeah nkrofo yeah share so say yeah be imagine see yesu by we no be yeah Kamari Magdalene ni Joanna Munkoma wo bebre
hey na yesu kra ne Mary Magdalene ni Joanna no wo bebre na de yeah okay ye fa no se ye moa e na wa ma ya te ase se nyame frɛ wa onyu mreyo enti unya ye nipa no kwa se na ye binum ta ka se uyi nyame nipa no tu ho no ma uyi nyame a ne aka ne ye nipa enti me ye nipa binum kasa no yeah now so to the extent say afe enfie mienu miensa enfie nson enfie dumienu we kura ye de ya ti o ebinum so ho kura wone sofo ne asafo ma me nyina kura na ti. So for all this years, akoso safo na sa oba no so no ohia kun ofa na se wanya kun na so fo ne ye no ono so wanya kun tini kun no ana se wono akasa wonye ono so ne dia wode de so fo anadako wode abegu nanimu asete se de eye bobo bayi a yese yama no kwan se wonye ne ho anu no kosi se ye bete ne ka no ye monidin na muma yade a ebobo so nipa timi fom etode bia nipa tumi yemre obekwa akopatre no akwakotomba se de odi kankan ye no wafom da nanso wanka ba bia ofom yin na wote hwe no because etode bi kra na wanfom a unya experience na de bia to before nanso sa afe na a decade 10 years aba na ogusu na utim na da ko abetra ha na obeka kire ye se enti sei na sofo ne ti na sei na so ene se wo so ho na ba bi ye mere so kra ne yan wade ti eja itwi fe mu a be ne den ti se wo say de to no oh of course yes media for example she was supportive. Okay. She was helping after me starting ministry, and then she became a backbone. It's like my God. And come on, also buafo nyame yi ni ba sabre. Buafo de nyame yi ni ma wase ye ninda. Ye ninda. Oh, jai. Buafo body. But at the end of the day, no, Wa mananka.
No.
Yes.
No. Please. Yanka says, it is not right for a pastor to be dating and to be sleeping around. Let's be real. The reason is that, one, every genuine man of God, one of the fruits you need to bear is self-control. No self-control, you cannot be qualified as a man of God. It brings a lot of question to the calling of God. So people may probably think, Nyame, one friendly papa. The word software expectation from the people are very high. Maybe say na be nipa no. We nipa but ye hwe wesua. Na ye be hwe wesua wi. Na de ye be sua ye nwaman a ana eye krono ana eye tra. Then what will become of the next generation?
Okay, and a question. Enti ye de yankomo twetwe na sisa question mark ya no. What I say, enti ye the next generation no. No mo hwe ye so asua yin. Ede no mbesua. Ye mre na so. Na mum ka bibi kakrafa we so hone fa nso so. Obi o ho so anye na no ne obi da. Na mum osei abusua ntam. Pacho.
Very short. Na me wo be baby. Sabi meka sabi tinu onyamesum ana sofudie mu. You know, obi bia oban ni bia wo maame ye banfo, menko ni fi ye careful. We ne yere so o wanti onye oye banfo, ye careful. A man came to the church for 5 years, no hwe ne maame. And then through Mpaiboya, then I called them. I said, "Well, you man ko ye you di o bre o problem on show maame." Said, "Makwa sofo ho na e bia." Makwa sofo be 4 5 o mu nyina confirm ba ko se me maame ye benfo. So I said, "To tontuma come to bika kotakrade. Kotade ko cho maame no papa." So he did it. Oye wie within the week, a company called him Atema. And yes. So you see, I don't know what is wrong with us. And now so for Yabebe, especially one man church as of for. And it's so sad that people call one man church as of for say, you fake. Simply because in Katiani being here.
Okay.
That by force so say, Nyamin Kasa ya can bibi. Now will be who say Nyamin you by force.
It's when Nyamin and beside, only as of one a bisa by force. Pacho Eden Commodesi. Yeah, that's it. I'm sure. Any already why don't call Enna a D Sankomo or your software. Dear seeing so a sofo. Enti asofo sem no ayana eya ahomete say. Wow, nim say, sa software dear. But a bar, yankasa sa software, ye say a software. A hona ye hard no. Ye den commodity, but dear a buy a coffee san come away by an edge than ne fa pempa na say. Software so need the man a home and so. Na sa software no, and ya one. Be ya one so two things so enya one na be ya one so because oye boafo ayenim say or no or kind of background na de efie ni bebia wadu no o gidi so oboa obi na be na say no free lunch no say asam ne yaye no kro ewie obi do be call lunch abisa no muye what I say because I hear na pacho ye de echire ye ne de echire na ba ko bi nso ye UK nso de bi ye ne de echire no kwasa ye ne de echire because sa sofo ne de na de ye ne de echire ya ma na kwanya nso so onye ne ho ano nti ye mpese be pentem ebua aten pacho
concerning asofo bi de I wanted to say, you know, you will be a friend of manipulation.
Okay.
When the pastor can tell you, when be da benyan, me know da, be soon subabet from me know da, an anime nantia, the anointing on me will come over you. Anointing, and yet to be sex never.
Okay. Pacho, that's
very.
Yeah, that's it. Enti, Pacho, what? Me did my metro diamond, me no come to channel, me dear see. On my head of Cabana Santania Bridge Fort, and I say, to my dear family, yam on your seminal. Near the gun and can't call him Ponti Bebana no come and I won't be because so I shall Adom TV made that say Emma watching and pay me did my metro diamond.
Some 3 weeks ago, I indicated that a closer look at the data points to the fact that we are steadily on the path towards limiting and containing the virus and ultimately defeating it. And I requested all of us to pay particular attention to the number of active cases. As of 24th July, the number of active cases, i.e. persons with the virus, stood at 3,307. As of Saturday, 15th August, 3 weeks later, the number of active cases stands at 1,847. This is a clear indication that government policies are working. These statistics undermine as unfounded the claim that Ghana has lost the battle to defeat COVID-19. There can be only one simple reason for this baseless assertion, and that is political expediency. But as I have said before, do not begrudge those who make such statements. They need to make them to continue to try to stay relevant. Our phased approach towards returning our lives to normal through the strategic, controlled, progressive...
of the land, another Danko Akufo-Addo na. What we say, on also, kasa bribia da okaka ye COVID briba no shesa nkomodi na se. Nti wakaka ye no den hihye agu akwan mu a o kire se sisi debia da obo de adefoforo ba bribia oba de adefoforo ba amongst adefoforo ni bi ene se na school for nkwada JHS for no o de hihye agu akwan mu one hot meal and also one be enjoy. And no change no so say by close of is it August or September borders no you say is not sure say e ade ayi bia na say yemi now the at the said so to yin nim titu Kumasi Nkran Central region you're very careful about kwan you for so you boy homodin there I nose marks bi shey bi akeke e da ha hye botom and what you still around wasa kasafa nipa bi ni mo ono de o susu ye say enye ne ma ye de cheche ni hia o na o hwe no mi enwuma na ma nipa o de anu yi e de amomo yebedi sanko wonyina but mamema Kwame Jokoto because man Yaqub Efira Kwame Jokoto of Ediban fame ne mame yekase radio to Safre no the sad thing is that omo ye twins Kwame Jokoto mame ye kakra ofri mu ana ninia penny enso film so sad wow so sad inti o sie ni mame nom nye ne mame nom very sad. Iti Kwame Jokoto mame ye Madam Nancy Kakra Opon ono na ye kakra no nti ni nua panyin no Madam Nancy Penny Opon ono so omuye ni radio tonsa are from at age 70 so something else ha nti Jokoto se otiminka shedding oni nkwada mo mame no mja mo ho nyina Gloria Jokoto Takwa Seth Kwame Jokoto if you as the band fame Joanna Equia Tete UK na teria nyameche takrade ti nyame adom efia da 28th of August 2020 na burial service ne bekoso Bethel Methodist Cathedral Church takrade na afi wono ko Ketan Cemetery second day for burial na ne kwasi ada no wono atnas ya ye ufusom wo Bethel Methodist Cathedral e wo takrade nti yenhye no so on the 28th yenyina yenko ne yenko tai efiewura Kwame Jokoto yenko tai na china bibibia yenko kama enfama no oraba kwa ba yeah well obo Benaya Atnase His Excellency Sampi Alenso Atnase Intinanado on the voter registration site.
On behalf of the people of Ghana, I congratulate warmly the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Jean Mensah, her two deputies, Dr. Eric Asare Bosman and Mr. Samuel Tete, and the entire commission for the efficient, safe, transparent nature of the registration exercise, where for the first time in our nation's history, Ghanaians were provided with daily updates of the numbers of eligible voters registered, together with specific age, gender, regional breakdowns, and breakdowns of identity documents. All eligible voters were given the unfettered opportunity to register, a process that was fully embraced by the mass of the citizenry. Of course, there were genuine and understandable concerns about conducting such a complex exercise involving millions of citizens at this time. But at the end of the day, Ghanaians did their civic duty by going out to register, having found that the process was overwhelmingly orderly, peaceful, and safe. However, there were those who expressed various degrees of hysteria and negativity towards the exercise, with some who saw heaven and earth to resist the compilation of the register at the peril of their lives, ending up registering. There were also those who offered delicate personal sacrifices in the event of the register, again ending up registering. And there were those who claimed that in the midst of a pandemic, the registration exercise should not be conducted, with some warning of an explosion in our case count and very high numbers of deaths should the exercise go ahead. By the grace of God, the work of the Electoral Commission and the effective measures put in place by government, these prophecies of doom did not materialize. There were nonetheless deeply regrettable, isolated incidents of violence, which I condemn unreservedly, and which I expect the police to deal with without fear or favor.
But happy birthday to Ruby, ano auntie 2 years, and if you papa Kofi auntie hona ede aba, and then Alexia Amu 10 years today. Alexia Amu 10 years today. Wesley Cathedral Junior hona or Alexia Amu 10 years today. If you mame enu nyanum nyanti Kofi nti obano Nanaya Obano Alexia Amu Rade Inshiromo. This is a kwaba. Bibia ye kama. Oh, ye. Papa no what is. Papa bay. Okay. Papa no what is.
Ose.
Papa no what is.
Yane banet you anu misano.
Papa be na make na say the banet.
Ye papa no.
Papa bay.
Papa no.
Na bana you papa.
Ose.
Do you know my father?
Do you
know my father? You say in said nebanet wono. At my age, do you know my father? I don't want to be. Listen, I don't want to be. I don't want to be.
Ambassador, you late and irresponsible.
Listen, I don't want to be engaged.
But the truth is that
I don't want to be engaged in irresponsible discussions. I am not. Listen,
the truth is that you say, because why late, no? Because you are taking care of your father.
That is. He doesn't know my dead father.
Okay.
So the point is that I never want to be part of any irresponsible discussions about a mental deranged persons. Ghana ha one on your bad that news. Say at this moment, society and the and the whole world would have collapsed under noise pollution. So because of that,
very useless.
It's useless. Well,
I raised the issue because of how I'm treating of parliament.
It is irresponsible. Oman to say Rwanda. Are they engaged in such reckless foolishness?
It's reckless
and foolishness. Yes. Oman ye teams is
hospitals
you know, for somebody to take you to parliament and a former member of parliament come and say, Papa. I take exception. My father is a respected old man who died. Okay. I say, so please don't bring me into those conversations. I take very serious objection.
That's it.
Don't bring me to such. I mean, we come here as serious people.
We're stating the position clear. So those jargons that were about now, Omani any media, he did this uncommon. He doesn't want to be part.
I don't want to be part.
Say any papa there, on see where ye or bonka is any papa ntiasi, or a very respectable man.
Oh,
matter there.
yɛnyina yɛ Ghanafoɔ. As far as I know, no, me tie kasa me papa. As a kind of kasa me papa. Sebi nyɛ deɛ ni moja ba ne me nkwa no me papa. No nkwa no me meja. Apart from sebi papa nuanu nyina amamre kwa so me papa.
Why are you wasting this program time for these things? Why?
Okay.
Ben, why? You could have avoided this this statement.
It was very important because even in the August House, it raised confusion. They didn't say it was relevant, it was irrelevant.
Yeah.
And then you have just said that that issue was reckless, it was foolish.
And irresponsible.
So it is helping to shape a certain conversation.
I was just reading something about Rwanda.
Yeah.
And post-COVID management.
Yeah.
And everybody is brought on board to see how Rwanda will be positioned in the next 5 years. That's the kind of discussion I want to be part of it.
The conversation is that every 4 years, what we have sought to do as a country is to delegate and bring people
down.
Every 4 years.
Yes.
Because of elections.
Yes, but other countries are moving ahead.
If we don't face it and tell ourselves that enough of just what you have just said, and then we say we don't want to be part of it, every 4 years, it is like tribalism, morality, Papano issues will just be coming as against the backdrop of development. Development.
I drive all the way from Takrady to take part in your program to come and help shape positive opinions.
Exactly.
Are you following me? To come and shape positive opinions. Because here they are it's about the youth. Yes, that's why I drive all the way from Takrady to come and take part. But I'm not coming to drive from all the way from Takrady. Me see better than Papano. No, I'm not interested in those things.
I just wrap up.
Sometimes let's be real with each other. You see, see a country beer, your sense of humor, your high. Ghana can. And Ubia so is seriously minded Bias in himself. And no so can yet together as on my atu ene. One, okay, ye nyata brochi pen. My adwuma mental hospital pen about Germany. And nyama bebre den kofo bebre gu mental homes awa brochi no. Ghana ha ka be nyu bi ede yi nsem kwa obenye obi ede ya futi obi for wasem to job ayehu ni you know obenya fatu hu bi ni nsem bi obeka de achichiro yure then serious as the case might be out there go ni kama for oni obi o ne be siri bia anti no ko be wie o mental home no yetumi eye ne saa. But in the process, please,
do you accept that? Do you accept that I didn't
please, would you listen to me?
So please. The import is the most important thing, not the normal conversation out there. I am looking at every 4 years repeating some of these nonsense that you have said. So let's shape it.
So yes, look, if you allow people to take such humor as nonsense as this, my brother is trying to paint it now, rather they are pushing us into some baby I how? Or my even boarding your boarding house. Many politicians ye kasa ye kenti. Otherwise, come to me show any kasa. What does that mean in central to me find example? It because ebia be kasa na say mfanti for there. Ebia mo the concert na mo ye. O hwe respecta yesi kwaku apem. O hwe we ya yetumi
edida
ho ye kan ye
fantifo the concert there.
Yetumi kika nyamba bebre esi kwafo there ebia sika there. We there ye kika di ye ho fewa from boarding school. E kan ho na building together as a mind. We should not allow politicians like me to take our sense of humor away. Adibia ye can it will be tension back down. Edru dia de kura na ebia nkaman for be boss to ni tuo no. Wa hwe Ghana ha.
E dia asenkwa.
Otumi obi panyi bi tumi de asemkwa bi befam na tension nyina aye be abafom. It was almost ye presidency kura no. During State of the Nation address, I've been in Parliament. President Lawrence Nkwana Namini Hobi. But at least I listened to him. Even in Kiyeka statement being, and then deserve all the attention and seriousness at the State of the Nation address. And yet, all these presidents, all these presidents, if you have tension about no Jabi now, hey, both sides no be answering. I know, Sir President Rollins did it. President Akufo did it. President Atta, he did it. President Mahama and current President Nana, they all do it. So, it's a Mayan year who say, say you new room for, see a bedi, you felt
coming from
that is the angle. We should all see some of these things. Now, you see, you move on. It doesn't mean say you be this serious until you need time to cry, you the Becky can send Asrika cry. No.
Okay.
Only comedians now they are not move us or mama or mine.
A boy, me who toy.
Bisa any medical doctor
I'm sure you have come from an angle.
Exactly. That is how the way to go.
Different out there.
I rest my case. I don't want to talk about it. So let's go on. I rest my case.
If there's any hitch, we have also correct.
Oh, no. But I take serious exception
to the Papano conversation.
Being referred to Papanaba.
Oh, okay.
I take a serious exception to that. Okay. You know, you bet me the feel be you bet me a sense of humor.
That sense of humor, but not all sense of humor.
Master, you know me.
Yeah.
You know how I do my things. Yeah. So, assembly or what? Okay. A man in Pano, and yet the sense of humor. Okay. Of course, I mean, you're a mental hospital, so I don't know what kind of mental deprivation I've been. But then, if a whole minister of state picks street talk and mentions it in parliament, I bear controversy. You know, something seriously happened in parliament that Friday. But because of this pounding or whatever it is,
it shoved
off that thing. Meanwhile, we are losing our royalties in the mining sector because of this papano. The whole week, he has spent 5 minutes or 10 minutes of our time talking about that.
Okay,
we're talking about our sense of humor.
My sense of humor does not. My sense of humor does not.
Exactly.
My sense of humor this morning.
Because of that statement, President Mills and Mickey.
My sense of humor this morning. My sense of humor this morning. You want does not feed this young man. We don't put job. We don't give this young man job.
Okay, so
that's why I mean you should come and be
in Parliament. There now, all kind of it is not as if the minister and his statement. No, the discussions on the minerals,
did not go.
That called the opposition.
That called the opposition. Your people walk out not because of that comment.
Okay.
It's as usual of your people.
Former president, it is not as usual. When you disagree, it doesn't mean that it is something that is demonic or a taboo, but you're underlined. Former President John Dramani Mahama.
Ben, what is wrong with you this morning?
What's it? The way we are bad, I can't this morning.
Listen to me. Haven't you seen MP people boycott parliament before?
And I'm saying boycott.
Former President John Dramani Mahama has admonished the Akufo-Addo-led government to focus on developing the key sectors of the economy that will create jobs and prosperity for Ghanaians, instead of policies that only provide free things for people. The former president, who is also the flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress in the upcoming December polls, made the comment during an interaction with members of the Association of Road Contractors. I quote, "This government is prioritizing consumption. No government develops prioritizing consumption. You have to invest money in the productive sectors, and the productive sectors will create jobs, and the jobs will create prosperity for the people. But if you say everybody should stay home and we'll give you everything free this, free that, all the countries that have developed, they didn't develop like that. You must assure the people of jobs. If people are working and getting money that they will need, people are working and getting money, what would they need free for if they can afford to pay? and somebody says, let's have a competition on social intervention. Social interventions are consumption. So, Your Excellency, your flag bearer, my former president, or a big challenge for this administration under another than Akufo-Addo, or the freebies he believes in empowering in the productive sectors to make me capable of going out there to go and buy what I need to buy.
Thank you very much. There is a Chinese proverb, I can say, if you give somebody fish for 100 years, he'll still become a beggar. But if you teach him how to fish, he becomes a man of his own. As money, nim enko MBA, sabi manun tumko. It is shared development. If you have done development studies now, you are comparing yourself. So, idea will be enhance growth pools. So what you are saying. Again, you're also looking at emergencies and what you have to do. I may feel say Mahama Samokan is in the context of national development. One, idea national development, as has been done in many other countries, savings. What you say? Savings and investment, capital investment. And no known as a way. Now, na aye say obia will be away. So be any be away there, then I'm say aban esobem. So what you say. Now, sir, aban be say media many sika. Na media ye investment ebema ye sika ene ochina afibo. Many investment ebema mranti wanu enya adwuma aye. So what I say, for us in a developing world, that should be the angle I'll say. So what I say. So for example, you decide to say, me per se, me Ghana as the aviation hub of West Africa. To say Singapore for decide to say, but they want to be the financial hub of the world. And now Singapore is what it is. So we built the Kotoka International Airport. So Kotoka International Airport, at a count, now mangrove for about 1,962 workers. They have permanent, respectable job all the time. So what you say? Now, again, I want to educate, for example, for good education, quality education. And therefore, I want to train more teachers. This is your political principle. I want to train more teachers. And in training more teachers, what are the constraints? And I think every OBI development stage is say, and when you say, we can't obey that in Kurana, we can't cry or say constraints, we land, or say we, So I want to improve my education. And then I may all the constraints in education, may free. Sometimes you see, say, a dying. Schools and hospitals and dormitories and bedam. And so I will forbid to your own fees. And you see a constraint. So you measure this and in developments that we call it, you weight the impact and you prioritize. So if you for example say member free education, but may yes I know me and sana. And I say alongside my yes sir. Because fees, and yet as major constraint as the availability of hostels, dormitories, science labs. You may look at it differently. Somebody too might look at it differently. So what I say. But in the end, you apply the sustainability test. But you say, oh, Nimpakura Waka say, me see more schools would therefore end up admitting more students. Will end up admitting, employing more teachers. So what you say? It is this paradigm as NDC. When we thought about the free senior high school, for example, let us build the schools. Now improve the teacher training colleges, elevate them from normal schools into tertiary schools, technical universities, and even teacher training colleges. All of them have been assigned to University College of Winneba. Exactly. So that is what we did. In doing so, our aim was not just the little constraint of allowances. In our understanding, the little constraint was not just allowances, but the fact that since we are going to expand the education system, we needed more teachers.
Okay.
You know, we needed more teachers, and therefore the biggest constraint was this allowance, teachers' allowance. Okay. Now that they have become tertiary institutions, you know, move them to the student loan scheme, which is by law what every tertiary institution is supposed to do. This is what we did. So what you
okay, so well, if it's about free, am I hearing it right that under the watch of John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, tertiary education is going to be free? What's the difference between implementing
technical education?
Technical,
yes,
not tertiary.
No, technical. You know, what we have called Siajuma. Siajuma not football bra. Siajuma not football bra. So what you say? Say, ube ko school a ube wie ba beton chinga woka kwa ho de.
Dabi.
And is sianyunsanu ejuma.
Fita mason.
Mason. O ma yin say sia wo dey. Wo fie tax that wo to ye. Unim pakro beto ye. Ofi Togo.
Majority of them.
Because Togo 4 years deliberate program say ye training young kwada no in Sanijuma so that we can export them. Philippines did the same thing. Train their people in service delivery. Dubai, taxi drivers, nurses, Filipinos. It's a deliberate state policy. So what I say, that's the way you're doing. And you say, young chronos, free service. That one we accept, we admit. And that is why we continue with President Kufuor's leap. We admit and that. But who nim say, Obi ni wa wo twese ka oni dem. Sebi, no they are free service. Every free thing that is going to anybody is being paid by somebody.
Yeah, it comes with a price.
Every free education, free days. Now we be say one kasa as a country with capital accumulation you then. With budget deficit you then. So what you say? So instead of borrowing for consumption, every good economist will tell you say borrow for investment.
Okay. Maminu we on this one, Honorable Embrem. The president gave a response. To him, it might be appropriate. But I can see say Udifa probably won't see about Difa because the president said that it is not just a question of freebies. It's a question of the times that we find ourselves in and being sensitive to the plight of the Ghanaian.
Yes, and the president may have reasons for saying what he said. And Mahama also had reasons, but let us integrate the reasons between the two of them. Now, we borrowed over $1 billion Ghana dollars. We borrowed that for the poor people. Not so?
Correct.
$1 billion for the poor people. How much of that had gone to the poor people has to be explained. Because I remember, say, you started free food delivery. No?
Yeah.
For 2 days. The third day, and Abublushi died. So those catchment group na near target woman. One need a Abublushi. I don't know. I don't know how Ben should be able to explain how they fed the 400,000 people. But certainly what we saw in the pictures, you know, for the 2 days, you know, they didn't accumulate about 400,000.
I see. How are you?
You know.
How are you? John Dramani Mahama was challenged on matters of freebies. Invest, let people be empowered, than just going to fish for people all the time. Free.
It's unfortunate that His Excellency, or me started on the wrong footing. So, I mean, my downfall. I know. The way I raise the temperature from the beginning, they are unfortunate.
I was just drawing the attention. Said, I don't want to be part of that discussion. I don't say a thing. How about you?
Oh, Kofi Papa let's calm down. Let's send any signal out there. Say, you know. Because these are some of the lighter things. You buy beginning crowd was like chia penny for ne adult for ne your mommy no more 80 and no more when now we are starting you know because anyway I bro I gonna we they say easy now you move on it mean you taking it easy I see about no pay and your papa be pie bi hanka ehun hia yen e wo man mu and so papa no asem near be discuss
another one papa be
Freddie say
Akura no
why you got Mahama Mahama
oh that's lovely this one I give it to you
oh you know me for original I also have the same
we are Mahama there now
oh my goodness no say papa Akura no
oh but you said this time Akura no why dey cha branch
well
the so kwa branch who no TV zuga na asem kwem kan say who no TV zuga na asem yem the so kwa branch na sisi ya na nimu aye say
ampa pot akoko bi o wamodu it's that one
this is the way to go this is the spirit of Ghanaian and these are that makes us Ghanaian it never be o mo other places on battery kan other places on battery kan abom ma Ghana dey
that papa Nando.
No, but what I'm saying is oh, there be and try. Sempanyifo no ya man korana who say fabra you know chin
them for the World Cup
World Cup yes Sempanyifo no say even in the midst of
papa no chada na beka na chire
beka say Mahama
see
papa ne Mahama and na me be chiro anyway me ba be chiro hwe to me
now so there na I say the context with which we are talking the papa no. That's why Your Excellency says that he disagrees to that conversation. But but what you have just said, no, it's not fair. So what context?
Oh, Debbie says
Papa no mean in Vietnam.
Debbie.
That's the problem.
Oh, Debbie, program here, your mind. Program here,
you.
Program here.
I don't say, Papa, I don't know Papa no Mahama. I explain.
Because the topic na ebe kan was Miss Kusra make say oh papa no say and I mean here papa na asem ye king and in this case papa na asem ye kan no papa no ye Mahama
the former president asem ye king aya Mahama say Akura no asem
Debbie I say once we are confused when you brand no pay once we are confused president Ananya president Mahama dey now nti na me hwe papa no kan asem no na
papa gro na wo kan no wo ka Akura na asem
se kamin ko anka no pay enye sa Mahama issue so eni ebeka
okay
so enema ehuhia oman and no pay 11 o'clock president or kwako that African Free Trade Continental program is here or kwako be your office enuma de be bo man mu enuma de be mo man mu Kwame Nkrumah no mo kofa afa hu de buy no these are some of the things are no mo pre say bit ma be di Ghana na ado adaroma and the sani me nyina asate e bagana ye tetefo no hwe anim a mo sanka no ene aba papa bae no ni nyina e bagana nkan sem sei no se di hu nkomo na nya papa no die so because issues were not
free it's at our expense
when you dealing with people who are any principle stance it's difficult to handle them. Very difficult to handle people like former President Mahama. Because when they're principled on issues, ubisa soja for na call war na obekachiro. Sento kwani the more deeper those guerrilla war in and conventional and say we more BC. Guerrilla idea obetumi address say journalist kwani bi odi tu bi ahye no na odi abetena na you know. Because what is he really against? Is he against see everybody nyoma free? Emu dia hen. And any position you say any oba we twem.
Invest in people.
Emu dia hen free near de medeba se meba. Onye specific.
Empower.
Say free am oda man me de meba me twem. Ma me starting free secondary school. Say to see free.
Yeah, free.
What's the essence of it? It is to empower people. And education. Education you waste. And it is what say Mahama ya kase Mahama a play tricks bi na osan nya kwanya no nyame am fa fie do osan nya kwanya na obetwa free secondary school mu a so when the position ya work he is now still criticizing free call them freebies and come hu ye wo ye japa wo ye principle da ade bia unim very well say especially what fast we di ye no o masa kwanya no e ma wo ma anase nchirima so faso e bi di ye bi ese kedua nanse adi awu no eno na ntekuma ntena ase ntonko but enye dua anka nanse wadi ayeye edua nanse wadi ayeye dia ko didi we ya no afre so nanse sem na akwa ye da to school ka owie na nanse diwe no start frefre ne ma no afu kerenkere tikerenkere ni afre no afru nyanko hwia no ko frefre so munna so medi because duaba na ye duaba papa. That is why even in the Bible scriptures no Jesus Christ the perfect leader I nya no asase so who say what teenager ne nchen wo ne sanifa so osoro ho na all the goodies no who say dabi o say bi nua no ma wasase so no the meye bia no mo so benya kwanya saba back to your father in heaven ho no but so aba enjoy the goodies no na ba be tu sa na mo no to ba asase so de ne kwakora be to ho mo say the be ya so ye benya nkwaje dama. That's what good leaders do. President Nkrumah, who said education, see why any free ama yankofo ni bia. Omuntumi access, knowing the value, the contribution education betumi dey aba o man no. Or the buyer. Emma, yenua President Mahama, enya so mfaso. Mo abidi MP, abidi deputy minister, abidi minister, abidi vice president, I said the president. Ebia asem kan o ebia asem kan. Se nye free education a obi ma ne nya ya ebia kana odi nantwie chi wewrem ba na. Ebia nko kan nantwie ba na.
Aye.
Me se twi ne ye kan no. Me se ebia nya education a se nantwie chi ukokan obi a politicians on be fa ne se ebia am me bu o me di nantwie chi no enim tia. Politicians are here and yemma ekodi nantwie achi asofo mpanyifo a wo man mu ahe na ma omma ekodi nantwie achi.
So that's the meaning you apply to it.
So the betren it is a yadwuma papa bi to set directors accountant here they na eduru a protocol na mo yen politicians de ma yemma and you say how about who say issue so under normal circumstances can you free it is somebody has to pay for it. It's about say because of circumstance no you no move any free ya na motumi akokoro mo nsa. Are you surprised say yetumi I bring COVID no under control?
Okay, your excellency, wrap up my
again unkania yes see because they untumi come back no uko other places cry America na dey see mo checks landlords yes see untumi do rent because of landlord too and now mortgage and you can see a tata. About say ye need that system no. At least on can so there you be meet you halfway. Meeting you halfway apart from the personal level say a savings to you. Wait me there other things no. Companies ni industries so you meet you halfway no. Do you know what that means? Sasika no under normal circumstances no omo be reinvest into their this thing. As they reinvest no e dey no more here. Omo expand on businesses no. Any opportunities no more create ya mama for nyaduma again aban ba no under one district one factory ye bie ko no sabi nye nipa na be yaduma ho planting for food and jobs ya de sika ehemu no si ya makua for fertilizer ya mom say no nye nipa na eco home extension officers in Kwano they recruit over 13,000. Okay, forestry in Kwano over 75,000. Education double track cover by in Kwano yasan increase teaching and non-teaching staff no for more than 40-50,000. Now we now you call this freebies. Freebies need they not to talk cars the church and school for Mayano.
But I can't substantiate that.
Oh yes, I'm not expecting you to do that.
No, I can't substantiate.
Yes, but I know it.
But how do you know
it is on record
that
I take them or teach my school for
that it was Ghana's money. It was Ghana's money, and that's it.
Of course.
That item.
Of course.
Where is
the president of Ghana not in pay analogy.
But where is the proof?
Proof ni be ne Land Cruiser na I could do first day. I was so what's we go candidate no. Domelo say I'm ready.
John Domelo.
John Domelo. Yes. Land Cruiser na could ni hona or the could na workshop na. Omo ko yom say state dia. E hona oja Land Cruiser ni dem a so no ani bottom scan or the toy e ka omo ko am ka Land Cruiser ni state dia obi jaja ma.
That one is clear.
It's example na me dey me ma. I don't have any freebies.
Am I? There. Munye yane pay. On checking the facts. No about na. And therefore he's not addressing the issues now. Yarikan. Oman paying that dona some Yarikan in there. So money butum puna. Or there is certain investments. Ama ochinibi mfason abahun amayan yandebia. Okay. Now I have in my hands some information via Medzema Konka check. 3rd December 2014. In fact, 3rd March 2014. Mahama's free senior high school, good for Ghana. President Akufo-Addo. Mahama's free, but from an American now, one phantom body to as American. Then 3rd December, why Ghanaians should reject NDC's free education? 11 September 2017, UNESCO allows John Mahama for introducing free senior high school, progressive free senior high school. What he has to understand, you there, again, young free education, and young Jina Waji. You have the plan of Tom. You have the plan, you have the Tom. Into my municipal school, dying. My means I be a more from an bada.
Which is not true. That is not true. Your e-blocks did not make provision for baby Ankara Beda.
Money really point.
There be no can in Janukre. Or also, you will be checking the fast, and yet it's giving false figures. You are giving false information. E-blocks, they make it provision for baby Ankara Beda.
Please. E-blocks were substantially community-based schools.
Exactly.
You never provided baby Ankara Beda. Again, so-called progressive, they didn't pay fees and also it took Napoleon President Akufo-Addo. You want to take credit for something you have no idea about.
I have
the so-called progressive.
I have so much respect for this program. I have so much respect for this program, and therefore I will never.
That is why you can check me fast when the fast so-called fast no more. You're false. Don't even know you're false. It usually have said, "I'm going to check me fast."
The fact,
so-called progressive, and another said, "You good, the fact, even a dime."
The facts, as I asked you to check, and the mama dates.
Yes, the date is there, so but I'm also telling you that you didn't pay even a dime.
No,
the records are there.
You are missing the point.
I'm not missing the point.
Here, he has stated 3 headlines.
Said
former president being lauded by UNESCO. Nana Akufo-Addo appreciating free senior school.
For progressiveness also.
Now, even let us bracket the free progressive, not so. Progressive.
That tells you, Senanado, your principle. He believes Korako school free. School free. It's the most starting progressive.
I don't want to follow you, but I can multiply what you are doing 100 times.
Yes, let me appeal. Unfortunately, because I have to end my program. So
yes.
Sorry.
So, but I wanted him to understand. Say, look, when you say you are going to implement a project, you plan, no so.
Yeah.
Have to put certain things in place. And so why? And I'm why.
It's in 500,000 and they will stay home every year, following your plan.